Welcome to the Fieldnotes podcast, presented by Seaworthy Functional Medicine. Seaworthy exists to help you overcome your complex health challenges so you can be fully vital. Now, here's your host, Dr. Rob Downey.
How do subconscious beliefs affect our health? Today, we are joined by an expert in this, Natalie Lund. Natalie, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Rob.
And she gets the award for the coolest setting ever on the Fieldnotes podcast. She is in a vintage Citroen. Is that right?
Yes.
It reminds me of wooden boats I've seen.
Oh, okay.
So
Fair.
she had to be very, those really beautiful wooden boats you see like in a movie of Venice, right? That
Yeah.
are big, gorgeous watercraft, all made of hardwood.
It's not wood.
Oh, but isn't there some wood there holding the top up or
Nope.
something? Oh,
Nope.
well, it's got the look. So she wins the Resilience Award for adapting on the fly to a noise-free work setting, which is one of the things we talk about a lot on the podcast is resilience. So again,
Creativity.
Oh,
Had to be
excellent.
creative as well.
Yeah, yeah. I had the good fortune to host a summit. The most challenging day I had getting to this setting was 2.5 feet of snow within an hour of trying to get here. And so
Oh.
it's just shoveling and snow blowing like mad.
Oh, God.
I felt like I don't know, some sort of, it felt like a movie just to get here. So same thing. I don't remember what creative thing I did that day, but I think I had to, um, get out of my fight flight mode and think, okay, how am I going to do this? So,
Exactly.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get to it. So, it probably will help people today if we start kind of with your origin story, like you're a comic book hero, because you've done a bunch of things to get to here, right?
Yeah.
And those probably do influence uh, uh, what drove you to here,
hmm
and how are the chapters that led to this, how do they inform your work now?
So basically, I mean, I've lived all over the world. My parents moved from one place to another because my dad's an architect. And as a child, I always had to adapt to new countries, new continents, new schools, new languages. Um, One thing was always there, that was music. So my dad's a musician, apart from being an architect. So I decided to study performing arts. So I studied performing arts. I worked as a singer, as an actress, in musicals, in film, also moving as an adult, Dubai, Hong Kong, Australia, Berlin, New York, now in Portugal, going back to Berlin.
Mm,
And I've worked in sales. I worked in a kindergarten. I've worked in tech, organizing events, sort of the people side of it. And when COVID hit, I lost my job that I
mm,
really loved. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with my life?
mm,
And then I saw a video. It was a podcast. I don't remember whose it was, but it was with Marissa Peer. And Marissa Peer was talking about rapid transformational therapy and hypnosis. And I was like, this is so cool. This is like, going, because I've been to therapy before, but it was always a bit too superficial because I thought I was fine.
mhm,
Well, once I studied hypnotherapy and RTT, I figured out I'm not fine. I'm just as screwed up as everyone else.
mm. Yeah.
And basically, after seeing Marisa Peer talk about RTT, I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to learn this. And she teaches rapid transformational therapy. So I enrolled and I studied, and it takes quite a long time because they have, since it was COVID, it wasn't live in person. They had lots of different modules you had to learn. You had the live events on camera, obviously. And then we had to train on each other. So we were client and we were therapist. and we had to do many to get to a point where we did the test, took the test, and then actually got our um, hypnotherapy and RTT certification. And I started working as a hypnotherapist, and then some company called me and offered me a job. So I was getting money again, not as a hypnotherapist, in tech as a community manager. So I
Mm-hmm.
worked as a hypnotherapist on the side, on weekends, friends, family, word of mouth. And then I worked in other tech companies, had not so great experiences, and then decided, you know what, screw it. I'll just drive this old car down to Portugal with all my stuff in the back, my dog in the seat next to me, and started building my business for real this time.
Mm.
And this is what got me here.
Wow,
And
so cool. I love the image of you in your car and your dog just going for it. That's out of a movie
I'm
too, right?
I'm driving back in November as well. So
Uh,
and yeah, so what shapes the way I work? So I'm a singer, and I use music sometimes in my work because music goes to your mind, stays in your mind, right? If
hmm
oftentimes you hear a song and then it just goes on over and over and over in your head, and you've been singing the song for like 10 minutes.
hmm
And last song I put into one of the hypnosis audios that I do that I'll talk about later, um, was a Sia song, like the I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche without
Mm,
brakes, something like that. I
mm,
don't remember it.
mm.
But I
Yeah.
put it into the audio, and my client was like, "Oh my God, I've been singing I'm unstoppable the whole time for like all day long for weeks." And she's like, and that actually gave me the strength and the motivation to just do what I need to do.
hmm
And me singing that gave me the motivation to do all sorts of things as well, because it was
mm,
on my mind as well. So music does something with you, right? Music goes
hmm
directly to your emotional, and
Yeah.
having lyrics that say something, right? Like, you're simply the best, I'm simply the best, change the lyrics, whatever. But
Yeah.
make the lyrics work for you and have that song in your mind changes the way you feel throughout the day.
Mm,
So I use that, and that, joins with my creativity. I speak 4 languages. I work in 3 languages. I don't work in French because I do speak French, but not to that level.
hmm
But English, Portuguese, and German. So I've got that going as well. I work with kids because I've worked in a kindergarten before. Um, I help my clients out with yoga exercises, breathing exercises when they've got anxiety, for example, like for that split second where they actually need something right now. I can help them through breath work or meditation or something like that as well. So
mm,
I mix everything I know together into my work,
mm.
basically.
Fantastic. So, as we segue into then sort of how this works and assumptions that
Mhm.
people have, one motif of field notes is that uh, it's often much more helpful or necessary to work smarter rather than harder. So I think a lot of folks listening, they hit a stuck point where the wave of their
Yeah.
ambition is crashing against the rock of their stuckness. And they think if bigger
Yeah.
waves would hit this rock, everything would change. And
Hmm.
typically it has to be a transformational experience, not a quantitatively incremental bigger wave. Uh,
Yeah.
so, what do folks need to know about the assumptions we make about how we change and how we really change?
I think we sort of, so I work with a subconscious mind, right? I work with the root cause of people's issues. Right? Sometimes we've got issues and we sort of work on it on a superficial level. We medicate, for example. Um, but the medication is like a plaster, right? It's superficial. The way I work is that I go to the root cause in hypnosis where you can access your subconscious mind easy.
Mm-hmm.
I go in there and basically go to the root cause, rip that root cause out, and fill. The root cause is usually a belief, right? We've got
Mm-hmm.
beliefs. We build beliefs. We act in ways that basically make us survive situations as children the way we understand it as children, which is very
Mm-hmm.
different to how we understand things as adults when we have had life experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really go in there, figure out what it is, take these beliefs out, and fill that space though with positive beliefs, right? Because in
Mm-hmm.
hypnosis, we're also more suggestible.
Mm-hmm.
So the suggestibility of, I'm enough, I'm, resilient, I have the mental capacity to survive anything, I have the emotional capacity to survive anything. So whatever the client then needs gets filled into that space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just so cool. I love it. I love this day of the week where I get to meet my tribe because I'm in Alaska. So my setting's a bit geographically isolating from other people that do
Hmm.
my work. And I love it that I get to share the work of people like you who say, hey, there's a path forward and you don't have to keep beating yourself up and you don't
Hmm.
have to have uh, I like to talk to folks that do work in your sort of area about a couple of things I remember. Austin Perlmutter said, how do you fix the computer if you're the computer? And Gabor Mate said, I didn't get to interview him, but one of his disciples, you're not broken. But people end up with a catch 22 where if they have beliefs from childhood, then their self-worth itself is impacted, which then makes them potentially afraid of the change they crave. So
Oh,
is that one of the
yes.
beliefs that have to be found and transplanted?
Yeah, well, anything that's familiar, our brain likes, our mind
Mm-hmm.
likes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's unfamiliar, we don't like.
Yeah.
But that's where the transformation
Yeah.
starts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay, well, where do we go with this next? Do people need to better understand the dynamics of how this works, or should we go to straight to what it would feel like to work with you? Should we share a vignette of somebody you've worked with so people can get a taste for what this is like?
So I would suggest I first explain how I work
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people hear hypnosis and think, "Oh my God, she's going to make me bark like a dog." Um, that's stage hypnosis. That's
Mm-hmm.
something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I work is, I mean, hypnosis is something very natural. I don't know if it happened. Like, do you meditate?
Mm-hmm.
Meditation has the same brain wave as hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're driving a car and you're like, "Ooh, how did I get here?" You're just on
Mm-hmm.
autopilot. That
Mm-hmm.
is the same brainwave as hypnosis. Hyper focus, all these things, it's a very natural state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't hypnotize anyone. People get into that relaxed state themselves. I just
Mm-hmm.
help them, right?
Ah,
I just
okay.
lower my voice, I speak slower, I help them downstairs. An easy way is also to look up, like you're looking into your own eyebrows, and then, you start blinking already. When you close your eyelids, you're almost in REM state already. So that's an easy way of getting to a very relaxed state. So in this relaxed state, I will take you to a time, an event, a place where that issue started, where my client's issue started. And, a vision will come up in front of their eyes, maybe straight away. Oftentimes with actors and musicians, people who work in arts, it comes straight away because their mind is already on that level. Sometimes it takes a second and then, but something will come up, even if it's just a feeling, right? And then we go into that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you feeling? What else are you feeling? How old are you? Is it daytime? Is it nighttime? Where are you? Who's with you? Right? And then, because a lot of stuff is just stuck in our subconscious mind because our conscious mind can't. I mean, there's so much that happens around us. We don't remember stuff from when we were kids or even toddlers or babies, right? Or even in our mother's womb sometimes, because in the womb, starting, I think 20 weeks, you start hearing, right? And then you start feeling. So we pick up as babies everything around us, and we don't know what to do with that, right? So whatever comes up, we go through that. And then what I do is I basically separate that child emotion from the adult emotion, because I do not have, I understand I felt like this as a child and it was fine, but this is going into my adult life. And I don't want that in my adult life. So we're disconnecting that. And I do that 3, 4 times. And I have different tools where, I take that child that was hurt so bad, right? And we integrate that child in our adulthood, but healed. So I make my clients say things to them as a child to heal them. So stuff they wanted to hear from their parents. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'll always listen to you. I'm always there for you. And then we integrate that part of the adult person, but child, into the adult person. And that energy makes a huge shift. So we do that a few times. And then we basically take all these beliefs that came out in the session and we get rid of it, because it can't, we don't want that staying in our system anymore, right? It's all stuck in our nervous system, right? We don't want that anymore. We want a nicely balanced, well swinging nervous system, and not like constant fight or flight when a certain situation triggers our feelings from when we were children. So we get rid of it. We destroy that. We destroy that feeling, and I really like command these to be destroyed, to go away, to fly away, to go into the sun and burn whatever whatever comes up in that moment. Because then it's like a shower. The water goes away. And even if you want that back, you can't get it because the water is gone, right? And then after that, the transformation starts, which is like a lotion that, you pull in. So first you have the shower and then you have the lotion that goes in, and that is all the um, positive beliefs, like you are enough, you're beautiful enough, you're strong enough, you're intelligent enough, you are valuable, you matter, everything that we as humans need, and which was missing when we were children. So that's when the transformation happens. And then so the transformation sticks and, anchors in us. I have an audio. So that whole transformation, I record that, and you take it home, you listen to it. It takes 21 to 30 days to change a habit. You listen to it 21 to 30 days. The transformation can be instant. The transformation can, take a month, or you don't even notice the transformation. And when you look back, you're like, huh, I don't react like that anymore. So, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Just making me reflect on some breakthroughs in my own life in response to meditation over the years, being less reactive, which is really a blessing for my
Yep.
kids. Um,
I bet.
yeah, yeah, and I think I think this is some of the most important, if not the most important, work that's happening in this space. We have a coach who I make referrals to, and a functional medicine certified health coach, and I'm actually going to approach her about whether she's got time to work with me this year. And one of the things she says is that everybody thinks they're going to work with me on food, and everybody works with me on stress. And I think there's this whole sort of, people have conscious presumptions about what's going on, and they're subconscious and unconscious things happening which are driving this. And it's much more
Yeah,
productive to go there with somebody trustworthy and work there.
absolutely.
Uh, do people need to be discerning about who to work with and who not to work with? I mean,
What do you
could
mean? Like,
somebody get into trouble? Let's say they had capital T trauma and they worked with somebody who wasn't good at this like you are. I mean, are there any contraindications to hypnotherapy or RTT?
even bad hypnotherapy is good hypnotherapy. The thing is, our subconscious mind is extremely intelligent. So me or any hypnotherapist could not put anything in someone's mind if they don't want that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even even if I say, "Oh, you're feeling that and whatever," and then I always obviously say, "Could it be that that is the feeling? Does that resonate with you?"
Mm-hmm.
And the person goes like, "Nah, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's not the feeling." Okay, then we go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you do not get into the I mean, everyone who has done hypnotherapy has a code of conduct and has a ethical way of working, right? We need
Mm-hmm.
to. But even if you're in hypnosis, because part of your mind is always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our subconscious mind is very intelligent and
Mm-hmm.
knows basically, well, thinks it knows what we need oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it won't let stuff in that shouldn't be there,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So
Excellent. I want to be
I've
clear with
never
our
worked with
audience.
a bad hypnotherapist, so I don't know whether it's.
Right,
I,
right.
I think it. I think it has a lot to do with personality. It's like, do I
Mm-hmm.
like the person I'm working with?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
coach, right?
Yeah.
Do I feel an affinity with the person I'm working with? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I want to be clear for our audience why I asked. So in med school and residency, sort of rule number one is do no harm. And so that's part of how doctors look at the world. Is there somebody that shouldn't take this blood pressure medication because their kidney
yeah,
doesn't work? And
yeah.
the good news is that uh, this is different. The
Yes,
first firewall is the subconscious,
yeah.
and that's where the work is happening. And this is also a reminder to people to trust. And if I've mischaracterized that, I know you'll correct me, but it's such good news that we can and should trust ourselves, which
Hmm.
again is one of the main casualties of Western industrial medicine. This
Hmm.
is why I went into functional medicine, because it was so clearly mechanistic to the detriment of body intelligence, of listening
Yeah,
to ourselves. And again, I
yeah.
want conventional medicine if I have a brain tumor, a broken bone, or pneumonia, but
Absolutely.
not for the type of stuff we're talking about today. Some bottleneck in our ability to activate or get into a state of radiant vital health and achieving our objectives and being at ease in the world. The
Yeah.
type of medicine I was trained wasn't good at that.
It doesn't look at the whole person. It looks at only one part, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh, you asked me about the capital T trauma, right? I do have clients that go back to a capital T traumatic event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they are never, it passed already,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are never in it. They see it like they're seeing it on a screen. So
Mm-hmm.
they're separated from it.
Mm-hmm.
So going through, they're not going through it. They're seeing it
Mm-hmm.
from the outside. And that leads to understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, oftentimes, once I actually said, look, this happened, take this to your therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
continue working on this, but with your therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know it would come out. And
Yeah.
that person already had went to therapy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
take this to your therapist, work on it with your therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But listen to the audio because it'll give you the strength and the resilience to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, let's delve into that a little more. So, if people work with you, are these sessions one on one? Are
Yeah.
they And so then when you alluded to that recording, this is a recording you make with them,
Yeah.
and then they listen to it. So there's
Yeah.
a stepwise process of how they work through this.
Yes. So I work I can do a generic group hypnosis that
Mm-hmm.
works,
Mm-hmm.
which I like doing when I'm at an event is
Yeah.
fine. But I do work one-on-one with people because everyone has their own issues and their own belief system. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously that audio, I work with that. I just start recording at one point in the
Mm-hmm.
session
Yeah.
to then really work on what came out, what's the positivation of the feelings they were having, what do they need from what came out, like
Mm-hmm.
what do they need to hear. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody needs to hear you are enough because
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the things that I think everyone has, the feeling of
Mm-hmm.
not being enough, the feeling of it's not attainable to me, and the feeling of I'm different, I don't fit in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to fit in to survive.
Yeah.
Um, so these are like the three basic issues that are always there. So, that will always come into every audio, but then
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's very, very personalized on what came out because you
Mm-hmm.
never know. Like I had a client, she wanted to lose weight. Yeah, easy,
Mm-hmm.
lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
She's a therapist though, a psychotherapist, and it was a very different session because she obviously knew a lot of stuff. And then we got to a point where the belief came out, and she's like, "Oh, but I need to help everyone." And I'm like, "Okay, who do you need to help?" Well, everyone. I'm like, "But your clients?" Yeah, but also my friends and people I meet. And I'm like, why? And then she's like, oh, I need to help them, but I need space to help them. And I'm like, you need space to help? How do you mean that? Well, I need to make space within me to help everybody. And I'm like, so does your body have to get bigger? And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, yes. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there we
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm.
So, you need
Mm-hmm.
space to help people and not part of your job. This is personal
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you get space within your body? So the body needed to get bigger so she could let more people in. And obviously she wasn't losing weight no matter what she did, right? She
Mm-hmm.
was eating properly. And then, eating sweets and then having the compulsion because, the subconscious is saying, nah, you're eating fine, but nah, I need to thicken
Mm-hmm.
up because I need to make space.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a great vignette. And for folks who are listening that might feel, I think my household of origin, which was very scientific,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't adequately well, it was what it was. However,
Mm.
what I see in my work in functional medicine, which is approaching 20 years, is this
Yeah.
sort of I don't know if it resonates with people, but I think accurate words are sort of holographic, right? There's this like hologram, this thing that floats of
Mm-hmm.
who we are.
Mm-hmm.
There's hardware and
Mm-hmm.
software involved,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
it's very directive. It's this it's this sort of compass heading,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, when we see what's going on with it and we make
Mm-hmm.
changes,
Yep.
then these things happen. And what's sort of mind blowing to people, maybe who are a bit too much in their head or a bit too mechanistic, is they think, like me, they think, how can that possibly have happened? They think, well, weight is just, you know, the first law of thermodynamics, how many calories come in, how many get burned. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that way. So this
Mm-mm.
holographic thing that you described, this beautiful vignette of this person who needed to be bigger,
Mm-hmm.
hardware and software changes when that is found and addressed. Is that an accurate characterization?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a lot of clients, especially women clients who, for example, they have been harassed when they were young, sexually harassed or sexualized. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to always be it can only be sexualized. So sexualized, suddenly, you're not you're a kid, but your body changes, and then the 20-year-old boys from your neighborhood come and, start sexualizing you. And many clients were like, okay, I'm only safe when I'm big,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
they grow to a certain point, but have that belief, I'm only safe when I'm big.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't grow any higher anymore. So they grow bigger in body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's why they can't shed weight, because the body's the belief is, I'm only safe when I'm big.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it's your mind's and your body's job to keep you safe. And if you
Mm-hmm.
have that belief, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going
Mm-hmm.
to shed any weight, because your belief is that if I drop weight, I'm not safe in this world anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is exactly the software and hardware glitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a glitch,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
And then when your clients are successful, what do they characterize about it? Is it this feeling of a shower and the lotion? How do they characterize being on the other side of it? What's it feel like to them, that transformational?
It's a lightness, like nothing, not necessarily weight issues or whatever, but it's a lightness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a feeling of liking themselves and valuing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's I mean, after my session, usually I tell my clients, have a look in the mirror. Your eyes have changed completely, because
Mm-hmm.
suddenly there's this brilliance in their eyes, because that thing that was there annoying them, that issue, that problem is gone from
Mm-hmm.
their eyes. So suddenly they've got brilliant, sparkly eyes. They feel
Yeah.
lighter. They feel like they can breathe again. They understand why. You can change things when you know the reason why they are there, right? If
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know it, it's very
Mm-hmm.
hard to change. But if
Yeah.
you know it, you can change. And then obviously in the audio, I'll make it easier for the clients going, you know, you have the choice. You choose to eat less, or you choose to not, to eat healthy. And you start liking, your palate starts liking vegetable, the taste of delicious
Yeah.
vegetable. Your mouth starts watering when you just think of like a cucumber salad, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll put these little things in there as well,
Yeah.
right, to make it
Yeah.
easier for them
Mm.
to stick to it,
Mm.
right? Because now they will be able to shed weight,
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
that's the issue.
Yeah. Oh, I love this stuff.
Me
Yeah.
too. I love my job.
Um, isn't that the best? Don't we have the best
It
jobs ever?
it's so good. It's so good. It's so good when clients call and say, "Hey, I stopped taking the medication because, I don't have that issue anymore."
Yeah.
I had a client who had PMDD. She was in she lives in Vietnam and was sitting in a bathtub in a hotel in South Korea when we had our session. So
Mm.
it works everywhere. And she had PMDD, really bad PMDD. And what came up for her was that PMDD was her companion,
Ah, yeah.
because her
Yeah.
life, she was never, she was adopted, so she had that issue, and nothing was, you know, straight on in her life. There was nothing
Mm-hmm.
she could count on. But
Mm-hmm.
PMDD she could count on. It
Yeah.
was like like a black ghost in her
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
sort of came out and said, "Hey, but I'm your companion. I'm always there for you." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, does this companion help you?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, nah." And I'm like, "So shall we ask the companion if the companion wants to leave?" And
Mm-hmm.
then the companion didn't want to leave at first. So we needed to, therapize the companion until it wanted to leave out of its own accord. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't want to leave, and then we change their job, right? Then we say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so if you want to be the companion, so how about instead of, bringing mental pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about you're a cheerleader, you
Mm-hmm.
are there to cheerlead
Mm-hmm.
the person, the client, you
Yeah.
know, and you're there, whatever happens, you're like, way to go. And then we
Yeah.
just changed the job.
Yeah.
And
I
that
think,
sticks as well.
yeah. Yeah. I think this is going to be especially resonant for people who are thirsty to get back to an artistic and creative interpretation of their life
Yeah.
and the dynamics of what can be and get back to the adventure of their life. I'm really reminded talking to you about my life was changed by Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, where
Yep.
he points out that we all have this sort of series of things we go through, and he invokes a lot of different ideas, but one of them is Jungian ideas about these
Mm-hmm.
storylines that show up, uh, and there's a lot of courage and surprises and things that transform and change, and dark caves and monsters,
Mm-hmm.
and running through the field on a horse. I mean, there's all these amazing things that happen, and it's just so great. I think that for ourselves and the people we care about, that their life can and should be this great adventure, and that's where the engagement is. I mean, just what you shared about this dark companion transforming. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's like something out of a really cool book or a movie. It's really interesting. It's really beautiful
Oh
and a
my
little
God.
intimidating and a little spooky.
Yes. But honestly, it actually, it does sound, God, I could write a book with, all these things coming out because
Yeah.
because these things are stuck in the body, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I go to, okay, where do you feel it? And then they
Mm-hmm.
feel it in their chest, in their stomach, in their knee, wherever they've
Mm-hmm.
got pain, wherever they have like in their thyroid, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we talk to that part. That
Yeah.
part in hypnosis,
Yeah.
because that part is there for a reason. That
Mm-hmm.
pain is there for a reason. That disease is
Mm-hmm.
there for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's hey, look at me, work on
Yeah.
me, hello,
Yes.
right? So we work on that to
Mm-hmm.
liberate basically that
Mm-hmm.
part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. For anyone listening, if you've demonized or vilified that symptom or that
Mm,
disease, then
mm,
I strongly encourage compassionate engagement with it as a
absolutely.
starting place. And
But
what's the
also asking, hey, you're not, thank you. I always start the are you ready to leave? I said,
Mhm.
you know, tell that part, thank you very much.
Mhm.
I know you're here to protect me, because it's usually protection, right?
Mhm.
I know you're here to protect me. You were perfect for that one part in my life, but now not anymore. Now you hinder me. But
Mhm.
I thank you very much for being there. Is it okay if you left? Because
Mhm.
my life will be better if you're not here anymore, right? So
Yeah.
it is a gratefulness, a
Mhm.
compassion you show to that part, saying,
Mhm.
thank you. I know you wanted to protect me, but you're not protecting me anymore. You're hindering me.
Awesome.
You're hurting me. Mm.
I think for our audience, it'll be interesting too. So for you, this has helped with in your own life. This has helped with attention. This has helped with perimenopause and some burnout.
Yeah.
Wow.
I,
That's pretty
oh,
powerful stuff.
okay. So perimenopause. To be honest, I do take hormone replacement therapy. I
Mm-hmm.
finally found someone,
Mm-hmm.
but um, I I do have tools for myself, because sometimes it's not enough, or I'm not quite sure how I'm, because perimenopause comes with so many symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
and some symptoms just stay. So I've helped several women with the perimenopause symptoms, because it's oftentimes, what do we believe about aging? What do we believe about perimen or menopause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it we're going to, we're aging, we're losing our fertility, we're not worthy anymore, because sort of society and medicine sort of also taught
Mm-hmm.
us to think that way, right, as
Mm-hmm.
women. So that helps. It helps be okay. Not everybody can take hormone replacement therapy, or not everybody wants to take it. So it's a way of treating some of the symptoms, for sure, but also finding out what their beliefs is, according to getting older and menopause. Um, so for me, for example, I still have hot flashes, which is like I'm 42 and I'm walking around and I suddenly have hot flashes. Um, I have a recording that sort of, I say in the recording to visualize like a volume button. It's the hot flash, it's the temperature button that you
Mm-hmm.
just turn all the way down, and then the
Mm-hmm.
body actually reacts to that, right?
Yeah.
So that helps. Burnout, I came to Portugal. I was totally burnt out and I worked a lot. I hypnotized myself and tried to figure out why I'm having specific blocks, fears, stuff like that to sort of, you know, get back to being a functioning human being
Mm-hmm.
with energy. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've always had lots of energy and then suddenly it was gone. So now my neighbor just passed by my car. Um, so, so, yeah, so going back to being a functioning, energetic, um light, the
Mm-hmm.
lightness. I was missing the lightness in my life
Mm-hmm.
because I was always suddenly everything became so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And with a lot of work on myself, hypnosis, but also yoga and breath work and um nervous system release, like, tension release in the stuff like that, like all sorts of things, putting hands in soil and smelling the earth and planting your own
Yeah.
stuff. So all that combined
Yeah.
um
Mm.
helped me get back to being a happy light human being again.
Healer, heal thyself. Physician, heal thyself. Yeah.
So important, so
Yeah.
important. We forget it. I always tell other people who do similar work, or doctors, like, it's not for nothing that in the airplane they say put your mask on first before you help someone else,
Yeah.
right? You need to be good
Mm-hmm.
and healed before
Mm-hmm.
you're able to, give yourself to healing others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Heal thyself.
Yeah. I think it's I don't think we have to show up for somebody else. We don't have to have on a granular level, we don't have to have personally solved the problem they have. But
Mhm.
I think our way of being in the world has an energetic signature which opens a space for somebody else to find their way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any anything brilliant or luminous you wanted to share we didn't get to?
Brilliant, illuminous. Yes, you are enough, listener. You are enough. And the thing is, we keep telling ourselves lies about ourselves. We keep telling ourselves we're not enough, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're whatever. I know people have a way of speaking to themselves where I'm shocked every time I hear that, because thankfully I never spoke to myself that way. But people do speak. Talk to yourself like you're your best friend. Like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you would never say that about your best friend. Why are you saying it to yourself? So you're
Mm-hmm.
telling yourself lies. Tell yourself better lies, right? And the better lie is, I am enough. I am valuable. I matter.
Fantastic.
So yeah, listener, you are enough.
Mm, I love that. Well, if you're somebody that listens to the podcast audio only, you really may want to go to YouTube for this one. Because, there's like a flow that you're in. Uh, there's uh, there's this like sweater that's the color of a poppy, right? In this mahogany colored setting. There's all this light, right? And so part of how you carry yourself in the world comes through like visually, energetically in a way that I think people will find inspiring.
Yeah.
And then this is somebody who, instead of cursing the noise of construction, just jumped into their vintage Citroen with perfect lighting and dove in and created this amazing thing that people can benefit from. So part of the message is what happened in the day. And I got to one of these sessions through 2.5 feet of snow. So again, tell yourself
Yeah.
you're enough, whatever the day brings. You can launch into it in your own personal adventure, or go into shutdown and freak out. You don't have to. Go ahead, jump into the adventure of your life.
Yeah, get flexible. Flexibility is so good.
Flexible, creative. Yeah. Yeah, and me too. My camera yesterday. My camera told me, "Oh, I don't work anymore." So I used my camera I use for telehealth, right? So, my computer went, "Oh, you can click on this one." Okay, here we go.
I had the same issue. I had a client, and my camera was like, "Yeah, nope, I'm not working anymore." And I got my phone camera to work on my computer. So I sort of stuck it up behind my computer and was like, it's working.
Right. Right. Yeah. Just making the plane as we fly it.
Exactly.
This is great. This is great. Where can people find you, Natalie?
So you can find me on LinkedIn at Natalie Lund dash LHT. Sorry, took a while. My website, The Lighthouse Therapists with an S, because they didn't have it without an S anymore.com. On Instagram at RTT with Natalie. And on YouTube, RTT with Natalie. And TikTok, I sort of stopped using because.
Copy. Okay. Well, this is great. Thanks a million.
Thank you, Rob. It was great talking to you.
Thanks for joining us for the Seaworthy podcast. Seaworthy exists to help people overcome their health challenges and be fully vital. If you think we've earned it, please consider giving this podcast a like, subscribing, and giving us a 5-star rating on the platform of your choice. Thanks.